Hello everyone, this is me, Ewaenruwa Nomaren from A Pays to Fear God. This is another episode of Verse Breakdown, and the verse that I'm going to be breaking down for you viewers today is Proverbs chapter 8 verse 10, where King Solomon had stated, "Receive my instruction and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold." To receive instruction from God is also about seeking for it. Seek and ye shall find. Revelation chapter 3 verse 20. Matthew chapter 7 verse 7. Chapter 21 verse 22. That is really what it means to receive, because when you seek for those things and then you're given them, then you have received. And the instruction, God has made prophecies in the Bible. His will has been laid out in the Bible. And in order for us to be receiving God's instruction, we have to understand that will. The signs of the times in Matthew chapter 24 and 2 Timothy chapter 3 from verses 1 to 5, and start doing that. Once we have understood the will of God, meditated on it, Joshua chapter 1 verse 8, and therefore started doing it in our lives, that is receiving God's instruction. And we should be doing that instead of doing that for the world, because there is the world's equivalent of it. You can be seeking for ways to build yourself up in this world, to make this your general priority. And you can not only seek for that, but whatever you seek for in this world, you will get. If you work very hard to be rich, that's what you are going to be. So God is telling us, instead of moving towards that which the Bible has introduced to us is vanity, because those things build up our pride and we can never be content with having those things. If we read Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 10, He's telling us, move over and start receiving and seeking my will and carrying and using your life to worship me and that will. And why should we do that? Well, the reason is, unlike physical things, which are not only temporary, but we can't understand the future with them. We're technically living on luck, because we have no way of knowing whether those things will continue. The stock market is a good example of that. And standards keep going higher in all countries of the world, and some people fall out of the whole equation because they can't meet it. But God's will, God's principles have not only been straight, they've never changed, they've always been the same. If we read Malachi chapter 3 verse 6 and Numbers chapter 23 verse 19. But that's where the future is going to be headed. The desire of all nations, which the Bible has told us is where the world is headed, because, of course, that's what all nations want. If we read Haggai chapter 2 and verses 6 and 7, can only come from God and us doing His will. If we read John chapter 14 verse 27 and chapter 16 verse 33. And if you read places like Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 19, we see the benefits of wisdom that you can't get from physical strength and work. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. And we can plan our futures properly because of that understanding of how the world works from the wisdom of God. Because when we want to marry, let's say, we will know how to marry. If we're wives, we will know how to set up ourselves so that our husbands can lead us normally and our marriages will have peace. If we read Proverbs chapter 14 verse 1. And we can judge cases with such wisdom as well. Instead of being taken away by what men want and to be deceived by what the world is trying to bring, we can use correct spiritual justice and be able to see the future and make corrections based on that, so that we can match up with that future and keep iniquity out of our spaces. If we read Proverbs chapter 4 and verses 14 and 15. And in Proverbs chapter 20 in verses 8 and 26, King Solomon had also stated, "A king that sitteth in the throne of judgment scattereth away all evil with his eyes. A wise king scattereth the wicked, and bringeth the wheel over them." And to summarize this, we can go to the very next verse, Proverbs chapter 8 verse 11. "For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it." I hope we now understand what Proverbs chapter 8 verse 10 means, which once again states, "Receive my instruction and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold." Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. Most importantly, please shut the subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified when we make videos just like this. Thank you for listening.